My name is Van. Today I will be going over some precautions and contraindications for vestibular equipment for kiddos with seizures. So for the contraindications, they have a seizure but are not taking medications for it. We don't want them to use the equipment just because of safety, and we don't want them falling over and hurting themselves. And then for the precautions, if they have a seizure but are taking medications for it, we can use the equipment, but just make sure that the equipment is going side to side or back and forth. So some signs to look out for in terms of distress is if the kids if they have increased sweating, their face is red, or if they're hiccuping. Before you put in the swing, you want to make sure that the rope is attached to the rotary. So you want to make sure that the carabiner is facing up and not down for safety purposes. And you also want to make sure to check the integrity of the rotary and the rope for any damages or wear and tear. I'm just gonna go ahead and step on the step stool, and because I am vertically challenged, to put on the rotary device. I'm just gonna hook it like so. And then again, you wanna make sure that the carabiner is facing up, not down, for safety purposes. And then you're just gonna hook it onto this, into the hole. First swing I will be talking about is the platform swing. The platform swing is good for working on core strength and stability while the child is going forward, backward, side to side. To assemble this, you're going to want to use proper body mechanics, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to want to lift with your legs and not your back, because you can hurt it if you're doing the repeated movement throughout the day. So again, we want to lift with our feet and not our back. So I'm going to go ahead and bend down, lift this up, and then I will be tucking this part under my arms so that I can bring it up to the adjuster and hook the carabiner onto the adjuster. And then as you can see, the adjuster is at my eye level, just so that it's easier for me to hook it on, and like so. And then one thing to note is that the adjuster locks as soon as you put the equipment on. So to bring up the adjuster up, you're gonna want to push up, and then again, I'm gonna lift this with bring this up using my legs and not my back. I'm just going to up to the height that I want it. And then ideally you're gonna want it like this. And then if this is a little bit tilted, you can just adjust it like this so it's nice and even. One activity that the child can do while on this is they can crawl into the platform swing, and then they're going to push forward, backward, side to side. But as the child is doing this, you want to be behind them, just so that they don't, if they fall, you're there to catch them. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate. So they're gonna go like this, and then as you can see, this requires a lot of praxis. And then an activity that they can do while being on the swing is as they are swinging forward, backwards, they can pick up a beanbag from the floor. I'm going to show you how to take off the platform swing. So what you want to do is you want to lift this up so that it's not as heavy, because it is on the floor. And then you're gonna want to pull this black lever, and then you're gonna go up, and then you're gonna bring it down to your eye level. And then at this point you can drop or place the form swing on the ground, and then take the carabiner off and then out. Oh, and then one thing to note is that when you're putting on the carabiner, you want the this part to be facing up and not down, just so that the swing doesn't, the rope doesn't catch onto the carabiner. And the next swing I have with me is called the Superman swing, or the moon swing. The swing is good for kiddos with good postural control or trunk control. This swing also provides vestibular input and proprioceptive input when they are holding on to the this portion of the swing and pressing it against their body. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to put on the swing. So again, you want the carabiner to be facing up and not down so that the rope doesn't get caught into anything. I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down, this adjuster down to my eye level. So I'm going to push up this lever here and then bring it down to my eye level, like so. And then again, one thing to note is that when the equipment is on, the adjuster automatically locks for safety purposes. You want to bring the swing up to the client's shin level. So I'm just going to push it up like so, and then to get on, you want to bring this back and then bring 1 foot in front, and then just push the bottom part to bring your other leg in front, and then you swing. This swing is really good for upper extremity strength when they are crossing midline while swinging. So here I have with me is the Pro Scooter. So before anything, for storing, we want to make sure that it's facing down and the caster wheel is facing up, or if you're going to store it by the wall, you want it facing the wall, and then the caster wheel is facing forward. So the Pro Scooter has 3 points of contact. The first one would be the ankle, the second one would be the hand in front of the scooter, and then the third one is when the child climbs onto the scooter, and then you put your hand on top of the child. So the scooter is good for head and neck extension as well as scapular strengthening. And then scooter is also good for bilateral coordination and vestibular input, as well as praxis. An activity that the child can do while being on the scooter is to lay on their stomach, and then using their hands, they're going to go towards the bean bag and then just throwing it into the bin. And then while the child is on the scooter, you want to make sure that both their hands are away from the wheels, because we don't want any injury to occur while they're on the scooter. Now I'm going to show you how to get onto the scooter. First thing is first, you want to make sure that the hair is tied up if the kiddo has long hair, so that it's out of the way, so it doesn't get caught into the caster wheel. And then you're just gonna place one hand on the scooter, and then followed by the other hand, and then you're just gonna do that until you get onto your stomach. And then to propel the scooter, you're going to use 2 hands, but before you do that, you want to make sure that the hands are away from the caster wheel to prevent any injuries. And you're just going to propel like this, And then to move back, you can also use your hand. So this therapy ball is good for eye and hand coordination. One activity the child can do is they can go onto their stomach like so, and then they can roll back and forth. While they're doing that, the therapist will have the child grab a beanbag or a ball and put it into the container. Another activity is as they're rolling on the ball, they can high five the therapist, or they can tap an image. Map is a weighted toy. If you don't have a weighted toy, you can also use a weighted blanket. So one thing to note when holding the toy, you want to keep the toy below the rib, and you want to do it at a 20 interval, so 20 minute on, 20 minute off, and you want to do that in 3 intervals, just so that the child does not get used to it, and depending on the activity, the child this can create proprioceptive and sensory input, and it can help to calm down the child if they are overstimulated. So for my rationale, I will be using the platform swing and the therapy ball. The platform swing is to promote postural and trunk control when they're on the swing, as well as vestibular input and bilateral hand coordination when they are doing inactivity. And then the therapy ball, because she likes to sit in a W position, I will place a leg marker on the floor to show her the correct leg placement. Because of the round surface of the therapy ball, it requires good trunk support, and for her to have her leg on the floor, which limits her from being in a W position. Hey Chelsea, ready to play?
Yeah.
You want to play swing? Okay, and then beach ball? Okay, watch me, okay? Arms up. Grab it. Throw in the box. Yeah? Okay. Look at my feet. Use other hand. Pick up. Throw in the box. Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Use your arms. Arms up like Superman. Ready? Grab the dinosaur. Very good. Okay, you want to go on the beach ball?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get up. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Pick up the dinosaur. Throw it in. Good job. That's okay. Try again. Front. Avoid water. Avoid water. Good job. You want to try again? Okay. High five.